Hello, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good.
Hello and welcome to this very special edition of the SC Ballers podcast. My name is Matt Ricks. I am coach of the Terrace Crew. We are here tonight to talk about the Baller Run Home Challenge. It is $7,000 worth of cash prizes for you to win. It does not matter how you were going in the NRL Supercoach season. It doesn't matter if you are ranked in the top 10 or in the top 100,000. All that matters is that you are an avid Supercoach player. It is free to join. Sign up today at baller.live. We're going to go through all that tonight. Joining me to talk about the Run Home Challenge, it's Coach of Tubes' pods and Run Home expert, Tubes, mate. Welcome to the SC Ballers podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Matt. I've positioned myself for this Run Home expert areas because obviously not coming in the top 10 like yourself currently or the top 1,000 like all other baller contributors. So it's worked nicely, this little Run Home Challenge for me for the back end of the season.
Yeah, so we're going to just give everyone a bit of an overview of how to enter and make sure that they get involved if they haven't jumped in just yet. And also, Tubes, just talk through a few teams to target for the Run Home and a little bit of strategy that can go into the challenge.
Yeah, it should be good. I think it's worth very much thinking through. I mean, it's not going to change too many people's, especially that are just trying to score the best they can, particularly up the top. But it really, it's a curveball that there can be a lot of pod options. It's 8 rounds. It's eight rounds.
Sprint.
If you get 2 or 3 big rounds in there, you could be very hard to run down, particularly if you've got some trades at the back end of the season. And that's what I'm planning on doing.
Absolutely. Let's get in on how to join. So head to baller.live, BALLR.live, and you cannot miss it. It says join the $7,000 Run Home Challenge. Join League now on the homepage. You cannot miss it. Click on that. Click in through it. There's terms and conditions and FAQs in there. It's got the prize pool. If we look on the terms and conditions quickly, $3,000 to first place for rounds 20 to 27, $12.50 for second, $700 for third, $500 for fourth, $300 for fifth, and $250 for sixth to 10th. So go and check all that out. You click Join League, and that will take you through to Supercoach, where it will then try to join you to the league. I've already joined the league, so I don't need to do that right now. But yeah, it couldn't be easier. Basically, 3 clicks. It'll ask you to sign up if you haven't signed up already. But that's so easy to do. You can either do it through Google or Microsoft, or stick in your email and phone number. A few easy steps to sign up, and then you're a baller. So that's the easy bit. Tubes, from there, once you're in the league, it's correct that your score only starts from round 20. So everyone starts on 0.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing. Like, you accidentally flashed up your squad there a little bit, and whilst you had cash, you had 8 trades left, or 9 trades left.
9 left, yep.
And so whilst you are thousands of points ahead of me in the overall, me and you start very much from square one from this week. And it would be good when we start talking through particular teams. I'm feeling pretty good about my Broncos stacked team for this run home.
Yeah, well, it's a good place to start. Let's get to teams to target in a minute. But what specific how do you see the most important thing? Would you say that it's trades and making sure that you've got as many as you can, not just for the start of this run home period, but for the back end to season opportunities?
I mean, it'd be good if you had planned for it. I think we've been hinting at it for a few weeks. But I do think for right now, it is going to be similar to people like yourself. Like, you just got to have your team set up. So that means you want the Nathan Clearys in as quick as possible from round 20 onwards. Broncos obviously on the bye round 20, but there might be a couple in there that you're looking at. I do think you still just want to have those teams. And I think you want to pick what that baseline team needs to look like. I'm currently anti-potting Herbie, which is done horrible things for me. But I can't antipod him for this run home challenge, so I'm
Yeah.
going to be focused on getting him in. But someone like an Eli Katoa, if you were antipodding him, you might be happy to take him on with the likes of an Angus Crichton or something like that. So I think you got to find those must have 12 to 13 and then look for pods around the edges.
What I sort of love about this concept, Tubes, is Supercoach can tend to tail off if you're sort of a bit further down in the ranks or you're not doing as well in your head-to-head league as you would have liked. But everyone can still win this. It doesn't really matter how well your team is set up. Obviously, it's good to have a well set up team, and team value is somewhat irrelevant because it's such a sprint home. You can really look to target those players with the good draws, and so focusing on those teams with good draws and also teams who aren't going to rest players, I think is just as important. You touched on Eli Katoa there. The Storm could certainly look to rest players similar to the Raiders. They're teams who are kind of locked into the top four now and come back end of the year. Could be looking to rest, so you might want to actually avoid teams like that.
Yeah, I'd actually even go as you mentioned not going as well in your head-to-head. Just thinking through it as you said it, if you're a head-to-head player, you must sign up for this. Like, as in, you are perfectly positioned. If you haven't been trading during the bye rounds,
Yeah, correct.
and you've been holding those, but you've also been focused on just getting your squad. I think head-to-head players will have a pretty good advantage as well if they make the right moves. But then at the same time, I think it is going to be about trying to make some pod plays. Like you brought in Nick Meaney on the weekend.
In round 18, I brought him in.
Sorry, you brought in Nick Meaney in round 18, and for 165, if you can find that type of player in round 25, 26, or 27, then that could be the difference.
Yeah, being ready to jump on those opportunities with trades up the sleeve. I don't think I'm going to be a chance in the run home challenge, unfortunately, because by leading into round 20, I'm going to have 7 trades left. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for me, but certainly with people with 10 plus trades are going to have that optionality to do. And let's just go through some of those teams to target, Tubes. We spoke about the Broncos. They're really a trade target from round 21 when they get through that bye. But I think they've probably got the second best run home of any team there. They play, after the bye, they play Parramatta, South, Storm, Finns, Knights, Cowboys, and Melbourne. They played the Storm twice, but away from the Storm, and that's Storm in round 27, so they could be resting their whole team.
Well, they will be.
It's very juicy. Very juicy.
Yeah. That and that could be a Broncos for a top 8 or even a top 4, depending on.
Yep.
It'll mean something to the Broncos that last game, and it'll likely mean nothing to the Storm. So I think it's an extra good run home. I've talked about it a bit. I've obviously held Origin debutant young GI or Gamat Shibasaki. There's those that have Karapani, Reece Walsh, Ezra Mam, that left-hand edge. Even someone like a Katoni Staggs on the right side, he could be one of those options of someone you're looking to target for that on the run home in those easier matchups.
Yeah, certainly some of those pot options that might be at slightly less value, slightly less price that you can squeeze in for that sort of cheaper option if you're looking to downgrade somewhere else. A couple of the teams, Tubes, who have the best runs home, I'm going to say New Zealand. They have the Titans twice, Eels, Dolphins at home, Dragons at home, and Manly away. Mixed in there, they got the Dogs away, which is obviously a tough fixture. But that's a really juicy run. It's a shame that Metcalf and Charles Nickel-Kluxard have gone down, but there's a couple of smokies there as real pod options with those juicy matchups.
Yeah, I mean, the one that comes to mind is DWZ. Like, I'm going to struggle to mentally bring him in, but he got to 700k at points over the last 2 seasons. Obviously, no SJ, probably on that right side into Chance. But Tuapicky's not a bad sort of fullback option. He's available in centre wing. If he plays fullback for that whole run home, he's certainly one to look out for over the next couple of weeks and could be one to look at bringing in.
Yeah, I quite like that. Tanner Boyd's obviously come onto the radar in round 19 as well. Roger, Tuivasa-Sheck. There's just a few. It's very smoky though at the Warriors, but they do have a juicy run and they could go off. It'll be interesting to see if they can hold that level of form all the way through. The Sharks, Tubes, are another team. Nico's obviously high on everyone's agenda at the moment. And then you're looking at guys like their outside backs like Ronnie. It's a shame Kay Aliro's not there, but Ronnie, Nickera, those types of guys are ultra pod options. The Panthers tubes have an extremely friendly run home, and Nathan Cleary, you think, is going to be essential to get into your team. But then there's guys who, Brian To'o's carrying injury, had a bit of an injury cloud over him. Isaiah Yeo, good pod option. How hard are you going to go at the Panthers?
I think, like everyone, I'll be bringing in Cleary, and I think someone like a Brian To'o, like for that run home upside. He's not quite this year being the premium centre wings. And so I think a lot of people that are hanging on up there, like people like yourself, they're going to be happy with that sort of fifth and sixth centre wings that they've already got. Whereas a Brian To'o, you'll consider him a fifth or sixth centre wing, but he might not be worth the trade for others. I'll be looking to bring someone like him in for the run home challenge for sure.
A couple of weaker teams and teams who people are going to target as matchups on the way home, the Cowboys and the Titans, they've also got pretty sneaky good runs. The Cowboys get the Eels, the Knights, the Tigers. They've got a home game against Broncos in 26. They do bye in 27, so that's something to be aware of. But they've got a sneaky good run. Murray Taulagi, as long as his leg's okay, he's a sneaky pot option in the wing. He's been 700k at points this year. Obviously, Scotty Drink, most teams will own him. But the Titans tubes, they're your boys. And one of them has been the most popular pod of the week in the history of the SC Ballers podcast, Phil Sammy on the wing. Is he likely to find his way into your team at some point?
I don't think so. I just don't think he's got the upside that I'm looking for at this time of the year. I think you mentioned actually the Cowboys. I don't mind the two options. They're both available at centre wing and 5'8", and that's Jackson Purdue and AJ Brimson at the Titans. They're both centre wing 5'8" options. One of those two is your sort of second 5'8" and or centre wing option could be not too bad on the run home as well. There's a few sort of sneaky pot options to try and fit into your 18, 17, 18.
The last team I want to touch on, tubes, with a good run is the Bulldogs. They start in round 20 with St George, followed by Manly, Tigers, New Zealand, and then Roosters. That's a lovely 5-game stretch. They come home with a tough run with Storm, Panthers into Sharks in the last round. But I really like some of these Dogs options. Kick Out keeps getting it done. Connor Tracy has been an option at times this year. He's obviously let a few people down, but I think he's a very good pot option. And one that I'm really, really interested in with the goal kicking is Stephen Crichton. He's shown that he can go big and he'll be extremely low ownership.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up the baller statistics on Stephen Crichton because I think they're going to be showing him pretty well because I mentioned him on the Snap maybe 10 weeks ago, and he was a little black book, but not until after the Origin period. Because I just think that he's, especially with if Galvin's getting a bit more ball and it looks at going that right-hand side, Connor Tracy sweeping out the right, he's basically one of their primo attacking weapons. And as you say, with the goal kicking, he just could go to another level. I think he already has earlier this season, but certainly on the run home.
Yeah. I'll be potentially eyeing him off as a pot option if I've got any trades left. Tubes, thank you for joining me. We really want everyone to get involved in the Run Home League. It's open until the end of round 20, so if you're going well in round 20, jump in. Please share this with all your mates, all your friends. Get everyone involved. It's going to be great fun, and there is a ton of cash, and it's going to be great value for you to come in and join for free. So we're going to have baller merch packs every week to give away to the weekly winners as well. We'll be chatting about it on the watch-alongs. It's going to be a ton of fun. Tubes, thanks so much and best of luck in the Run Home Challenge.
You ready?